Yo guys, what's up? We are heading to Sewell, Lexus. I'm gonna go pick up my car. Yeah, sorry for the clickbait yesterday, guys. I had to, I didn't want to. I even thought when I hit submit to send that video over, I was like, oh, you guys are gonna hate this. So yeah, don't worry, I won't be clickbaiting you guys anymore. Well, I won't promise anymore, but what we're gonna do, I'm not getting rid of the LC 500, okay? I'm not gonna do it because I love that car. And I've thought I swear, like every time I go to like Cars and Coffees, I go to different events, I do look at other cars and think like, you know, it's just, I can't help it. It's the car guy, the car nut in me, where I look at something and I'm like, man, would I drive this over the LC? Would I want this over the LC? You know, and I look at what things cost and the possibilities, and it all, every time it boils down to no. Because I love the BMWs, the G80s or G82s, the M3s and M4s, the new body style. Like when they're done upright, and I mean the performance of them, they're amazing. They're awesome cars, but it's the reliability, the ownership expenses that you got to pay. And I don't want to play that game. Audi R8s, man, it's like, that's another one. I love those cars. Now the Gen 2s are just going to be too expensive. The Gen 1s, they have their issues. S-Tronic or R-Tronics, one of them. And then, so there's just a lot of stuff. You know, yeah, we'll get a manual. Well, the manuals are so expensive right now. And would I want to trade a 2018 Lexus LC500 for a 2010 or 2009 Audi R8 V8 manual? No, I don't. So I just weigh in. I look at all these options. The GTR, I love the GTR. The GTR is another platform. I love that car. It's a dream car of mine. But for the purpose of this channel, that would fulfill like a, man, okay, yes, I have a GTR and it's so fun and exciting. But for the purpose of the channel, it's like, man, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that have GTR. So why shy away from the LC 500 when there's just not a lot out there? And really try to show people the potential of this car and the things you could do and how amazing it is, and at the end of the day, it is extremely underrated. It's not an overrated car at all. It's like the way the values are going, it's like, man. So that goes back to, yes, I dropped my car off at the dealership just to get an oil change, and I got a little noise that's kind of popping up in the passenger side rear. It's like a knock that when I accelerate and deaccelerate that I hear. You know, it sounds like something's kind of moving back there. So Lexus just said, hey, you know, you do have aftermarket suspension on here. You might want to, you know, look into the people who installed it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll take it up to Joe Tech and have them look at it. And I'm actually kind of going back to suspension. I have the RSR lowering springs on the factory struts on my car. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the, well, I talked about air suspension. I talked about coilovers. And I think now, because when I'm driving out, and it's not necessarily a speed thing, but when I'm driving out with my friends and we're going to events or whatever, you know, we do some fun spirited runs. Cause all my friends, like a lot of my friends, they don't have like little tuner cars, you know, they got supercars and exotics, or, you know, GTRs and such. And so when we drive around, we like to have a little fun, and suspension is everything. If your car's just feeling, you know, if it just doesn't hang on turns and stuff very well, and it's just like if you're bottoming out here and there, and of course I got 22s, but the suspension is just pretty soft. So I'm going to do the RSR adaptive coilovers for this car, because they're just plug and play, and I can still keep all my adaptive settings and such with, you know, comfort and sport and all that kind of stuff. If I want to save a little bit of money, I can find some other coilovers that don't have that, and it would probably be just fine. But we'll see how that goes. And let me add that, guys, I've been talking about exhausts forever. Well, I have exhaust ordered. I bought exhaust. It's being made. It's going to take a few more weeks, but yes, I did not go with Army Tricks. I wanted Army tricks, but I look at all the stuff I want to do to this car, and I'm not trying to skimp out at all. But you know, for Army tricks, it's an amazing exhaust, but for what it is very expensive. I don't necessarily need valves on mine. I don't live in California. Texas, man, we can have loud cars. It's all good. And fortunately, I live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of guys with some pretty loud cars and muscle cars, and I hear them start up all the time. And so I'm not even worried about that. I'm not going to tell you what exhaust I ordered though, because I'm going to save that for a surprise. Because when I did shop around for exhaust, YouTube videos, you don't get the true sound of the vehicle when you're watching YouTube videos. People recording stuff on their phones, you know, speakers suck. A lot of this stuff is like old phones or old cameras, and the audio is crap. I ordered exhaust by talking to another Instagram guy who has an LC. I love the sound of his. I think it's probably one of the most aggressive LCs I've heard. I will share it with you when I get my exhaust, because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But I have a very, very similar setup that he has. I'm excited, but it's gonna give it a little time because it's being made. It's gonna be a few more weeks. What are we gonna do after the exhaust? So I got a poll right now, and there's a lot of options that we could do. You guys know my goal with the LC is to make it one of the most aggressive looking LCs that we can get it. I'm not treating this car like I'm going to some 5-star Michelin restaurant. Chrome delete, big wing. I do want a wing. The wing that I'm actually looking at is one that has never been put on an LC500. At least I haven't seen one. And I've done a lot of hunting around, and I've even contacted a company, and they said, hey, we do have universal wings, but to our knowledge, we have not put one in an LC500. I'm excited to the possibilities to put this particular carbon fiber wing on the LC. I think it would be really, really sick and unique, because the problem with this car is when you are shopping for stuff, there's not a whole lot of manufacturers out there. So you got to look around. What other cars use? What do they look like? And because I just don't want to be another cookie cutter LC500 where everybody just gets the same stuff. Be creative, you know what? Make the car yours, and you know, look outside the box. That's exactly what I am doing, or looking to do. We are back, boys. My baby awaits. Oh, she's back. Okay, guys, we're back. Already rubbing, scraping the front lip. All right, we're back. Man, it feels good to be in the car. I missed it. It's only been a day, and I miss this car. But, all right, leaving Lexus. And I don't know what it is. Every time I get in my car after they do an oil change, everything just feels tighter, which is great. Like the steering wheel, everything just feels tight. Overall, that's it. Hey, the oil change on this car, $171 from Lexus. You know, you compare that to something if it was an Audi R8, which is about $500. You know, all this stuff is like, it adds up when you think of the ownership, maintenance. So yeah, of course, you could do your own oil change. I like to just take it to the Lexus dealership. I got records. Everything's been properly, you know, by Lexus, taken care of. So that stuff, that means to me, yes, I could change my own oil, but why? You know, I don't need to anymore. Just glad to be back in the car. And man, the interior of this thing is dirty. We'll get it cleaned up. See how dirty this is. She's a dirty girl. Everything checked out good on the car, so no other issues. And I have them, they inspected everything just to go around and do a basic kind of an inspection, maintenance, and topped off all the fluids. Everything is good to go. She purrs like a kitten. I'm gonna see if I could get that, if you could hear that noise that I'm trying to describe. Let me slow down here so I can give myself a little bit of room. Okay, let's see if I listen. There it is. You hear that? It's like a little knock. It's very faint. Didn't do it that time. It's very faint. Doesn't happen every time, but it happens often. And I don't know what it is. We'll check it out. Man, look at the dirt. Look at this. Guys, I got it dusty. It's embarrassing. We'll clean this up really nice this weekend. You know, another thing that's cool is that when you're Lexus, look at this. You get snacks. They give you cookies. I don't know what this is. Some kind of a thing. Yes, Sewell Lexus. They take care of you. Schnickerdoodle. That's right. I'm hooked up. So, that's about it, y'all. See ya.